sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, and even pain. Those sensations are not experienced the same way by all people. Recognizing that, the Holyoke Children's Museum recently launched a program called Sensory Sundays. Once a month, the museum is transformed into a place that's calmer and less stimulating so that sensory-sensitive kids can enjoy the museum too. I discussed details with Lauren Boyce, operations manager of the Holyoke Children's Museum.
We were just in the museum one day, and it was a quiet day in the museum, and the executive director and I were just talking to a mother that was there, and she was telling us about her son, and he was really sweet. But she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad that it's calm today, because sometimes we come here and it's just too much for him. We don't know if he's going to be diagnosed with anything. They just didn't. Her motherly intuition told her that there was something that needed a little bit extra attention." So we were thinking, we're like, we really should do something like that, once a month for these kids to come and play, because they deserve to come and play too. So yeah, that's how we and it snowballed from there. And I wrote up a proposal. We sent it to the board, and the board loved it. And it's been, yeah.
And so how do you define sensory sensitive? How, for people who might not be aware of what that is?
Right. So we use the term sensory sensitive to be sensory sensitive towards loud noises or bright lights. Just anything that's kind of extreme. And then we also have a sensory seeker portion of Sensory Sunday for the kids that just need to bump and crash and move in order to get that input that maybe a typically developing person would get without having to be so,
It gives
harsh.
them a little more structure, kind of a path along the way, right? And so when you think about a museum, people might not think that, museums are noisy. You might think museums are on the quiet side, but for a children's museum, they're often quite loud, quite fun, just by the nature of kids running around doing what they do. But also, what about the exhibits and the spaces? Are you adapting them in any way? What are you doing?
Yes. So, we have bright lights that we cover with special shades that are specific to fluorescent light to get that buzz out of the air. So we have that. Anything that is, we have like an ambulance and a backhoe that have spinning lights on it. We turn those off. I make sure that the noise on the ambulance is turned off. We unplug like the keyboards and that kind of thing.
Because what do you hear from parents who have kids who are sensitive to loud noises or jarring things? How do those kids react? What have you heard from those parents?
I mean, generally speaking, and that's one of the reasons why this program is so important, is that the kids or the parents that have kids that really can't handle that kind of thing don't even take them to the museums, because usually because they know that there's going to be something that a kid is going to do that's not bad at all, but just may affect their child differently. So that's why we wanted to do the program so much. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting the way that you're approaching this. You're taking what you have in the museum and just making it more inclusive, it seems like. So also you have these liquid tiles.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about those. How are those helpful for kids with sensory challenges?
So those are really great. I love those tiles. I was so glad to get those. We use those for our obstacle course upstairs with the theory behind, you got kids sometimes that just have so much energy and they just want to, if they're in a line and they're trying to go into a obstacle course and they want to, touch the person next to them or fidget in some way. This way they can step on the tiles and they can see the different colors move. So it's a way to guide their attention onto something that's appropriate for everybody. So
keeps them busy. Also keeps them in their 12 by 12 square.
Yes, exactly, in their space. So
teachers are often saying, keep your hands to yourself, but sometimes when kids are excited, that's a little tough,
that's
right?
Hard. Yeah, for anybody.
You also have, and I've played with these before as an adult, they're really fun, magnetic tiles.
Oh, the magnet tiles.
That kids can, magnet tiles, exactly. How do kids use those on the Sensory Sundays?
Oh my gosh, I have seen some castles like you would not believe that get made with those. I mean, we have a lot of them out, and like the structures that they can make are incredible. So whether it be, I've seen a kid make an entire schoolyard with magnet tiles, and I was like, what? That's insane.
And what about the sensory tables? How do you encourage kids to interact with those? Because if you're people hear us talking about this and they say, okay, you're saying they're sensory sensitive, so maybe you're excluding some stimulation that you think will be jarring or just a little unnerving, but then you have a sensory table that's full of stuff for kids to do.
Sometimes with the word sensory, it can mean also that you need to touch a little bit extra in order to get the same information that a typical developing person wouldn't need to have so much of. So really feeling, like we have a sensory table that I dyed rice and I put rice in there, and just feeling it, and I put essential oils in it, like lavender and eucalyptus to be like a calming thing for them, and to just find all the things that are inside of it. Like we put like little bugs, fake bugs, fake bugs in there, just for them to pick out and really feel and use their senses.
Now, you mentioned at the beginning, there's also something that's the opposite of this. You're working with a company that's built an obstacle course for you, for the kids. But what's different about this obstacle course? It's not something you'd encounter maybe at the typical gymnasium or schoolyard, right?
Well, everything that Chris and Hope do with Learn in Motion is guided for getting kids to be able to learn better through play. Play is the universal language. So the things that they'll do specifically that'll help kids regulate their bodies better would be like going through like hula hoops to get body regulation, to get them to kind of have an aware of the space that they have around them.
So to think about, okay, the circle around me as opposed to let me take up as much space as I can.
Exactly. Sometimes they just need to feel a little bit more enclosed to know where they are in the world. So stuff like that. Balance beams are something that they set up for everybody, and the best part I think at the end is they have these little scooters that they can crash into like these big bowling pins. So it's just fun because it's a whole body experience. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily any different than what a regular obstacle course would be, because really, I mean, it's just meeting the child where they are and helping them at whatever stage they are to get through.
I know that this is a relatively new program for the museum. Have you had any feedback from parents?
Oh my gosh, yes.
What have they said?
They are just so excited to have a community space to bring their child and let their child just be their child without, judgment looks, or maybe other parents that aren't, as educated in how their child is versus, a typical child. So the feedback so far has been just people are pretty grateful to have something for them to be able to come and do. So.
But to be clear, the museum is open as usual on that day. It's just you've made these alterations in certain areas in the museum, right? So all are welcome?
All are welcome. We do not require any type of diagnosis, but the focus really is for the kids that would be not really able to come during like
maybe a little overwhelmed in that other setting.
Yeah.